Let's talk about the 7 foods that will destroy your metabolism. First of all, when I talk about a destroyed metabolism, I am talking about a slow metabolism. So it can go a longer period of time with a smaller amount of calories. That's actually a damaged metabolism. Because if you look at the cells and look deeply into the cells, you see these little mitochondria. These little guys adapt not by slowing down your metabolism, but by making it run longer on smaller amount of calories. So the real situation that's happening with the damaged metabolism is there's all of these available calories, but our body cannot use them. So if you really want to know what's happening with metabolic dysfunction, you have all of this fuel available, but it's not available to the cells. So if you were in your house, but you had a chain lock on your refrigerator and your pantry, the food's there, but you just don't have access to it. So then the body copes with that and it adapts by becoming more efficient, but really it's not a good thing because you gain weight, okay, and you have health problems. So today I'm going to talk about foods that destroy your metabolism that you might think are healthy. In fact, you might have in your refrigerator and your pantry the foods I'm going to talk about. So let's talk about number 1, fruit juice, 100% squeezed orange juice. The problem is they're taking out all of the fiber. They usually pasteurize it, they cook it, and they have to add the vitamin C back in there because heat destroys the vitamin C, and they might promote it as being high in vitamin C, but it's the added vitamin C synthetically, which, by the way, it comes from cornstarch and sulfuric acid. Very different than the vitamin C in nature. But the big problem with fruit juice is that it's 55% fructose, okay? Now, fructose is a different type of sugar. All of your cells in your body can take in glucose, but only the liver can take in fructose. So it's a lot of stress for the liver. It causes problems with the liver, especially if you're consuming too much of it, because you're literally drinking liquid sugar. Like in one glass, it's like 21 grams of sugar. If you compare that to a soda could literally have just a couple more grams of sugar. So soda and juice are very similar in fructose. And so you're overloading the liver with a lot of this fructose, which actually causes the liver to be fatty and creates belly fat, and it creates a metabolic problem. And so many people are consuming this thinking that this is a healthier version of soda, when in fact, it's probably pretty equivalent to drinking a soda because of the fructose, okay? If you had a choice between fruit juice and fruit, give your children the actual fruit. That way it comes with the fiber and not just the refined sugar that comes out of it. Number 2, seed oils. They are still considered healthy oils, when in fact, they are pretty deadly for the heart and your metabolism. You're not taking vegetables and squeezing out the oil. You're taking these seeds like corn, canola, cottonseed, soybean. All of them are genetically modified. All of them are sprayed with an herbicide, and you're taking those in an industrial process and you're bleaching them, you're adding heat, you're refining them. I mean, think about it. These are very delicate oils, and you're going to add all this heat and all these chemicals, and then you're going to deodorize it, and you're going to say that it's good for the heart? And on top of that, between 25 and 30% of our calories are this. It's in salad dressings. It's in all of the ultra-processed foods. It unfortunately lodges into our membranes and messes up our receptors, creating problems with our metabolism, including insulin resistance. In fact, almost every single restaurant that you go to is going to be cooking with these seed oils. And it takes like 600 days to get this out of the body. So I would start now. Replace them with extra virgin olive oil. If you ever hear anyone tell you that seed oils are not a problem, just ask them about the byproduct from the heating during the manufacturing of this called aldehydes, and ask them about that product. What about the aldehydes? Aldehydes are very, very toxic. Every time you heat them and reheat them, like they do at the fast food restaurants, you're generating super concentrated amounts of aldehydes, which create the real damage in the cells. Next one, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, oat milk. You'll see this in the health food stores. It's considered a healthier alternative to milk, right? Milk from oats. Is it really milk? No, It's a starch slurry. A starch is a chain of sugar molecules. So starch really is hidden sugar. Not to mention they're probably also adding more sugar to it on top of the starch sugar that's already in there. It's in a lot of coffee shops, it's in grocery stores. But realize when you're consuming it, especially if you're consuming it in the morning, you're going to be spiking your blood sugar because it has a glycemic index close to sugar. Once you consume a carbohydrate breakfast or something that's going to spike your blood sugar in the morning, you're going to notice that your cravings go up and down through the day. You're going to be hungry at certain times, especially at night. You're going to want snacks. And you're also going to feel mentally a little foggy because the blood sugar issue is going to be up and down. Now, I'm not telling people to consume milk if you have a problem with milk, but oat milk is not the healthier version of milk because starch turns into sugar and that destroys the metabolism. I mean, a much better alternative would be unsweetened coconut milk or maybe even unsweetened macadamia milk. At least that's a little bit better because the starch is very low and it has healthy fats. So a lot of people ask me, what supplements do I recommend? Now, of course, I'm not biased of my own high-quality supplement line, but if you go to Amazon and type Dr. Berg supplements, you'll find more information. The next one is Agave nectar. Here's another one that you would see at the health food store. It's sitting right next to the maple syrup and the honey. I mean, come on, it comes from a natural source, right? But gram for gram, it is the worst thing you can put in your mouth. Why? Remember I talked about the fructose situation in fruit juice, which has 55% fructose? Take a wild guess how much fructose is in agave nectar. Between 70 to 90% fructose. Now think about that. It's going to put so much stress and so much fat into the liver, which is going to spill off into visceral fat. It's going to create belly fat. But not only that, it's going to affect insulin resistance in your cells and really destroy your metabolism. There's no other sweetener that I know of that has that high amount of fructose. And what's really interesting on the glycemic index, it's low. Why? Because the glycemic index is looking at mainly glucose. And if you add in fructose to the glucose in there, it brings it down, giving you the appearance that it's not going to spike your blood sugar. Well, it's going to go to the liver. And it's going to create a lot of problems with that. Next one is kombucha tea. I'm not talking about the kombucha that you're going to make at home. I'm talking about the stuff you'd buy at the health food store. When I first heard about this, I was consuming it. I was promoting it. I did videos on it. But if you look at the kombucha tea now, very expensive bottles of kombucha, and you read the label, the amount of sugar is between 12 to 20 grams per container. Versus when they first started, it was only like 2 grams. Why is that? Because they got lazy. The manufacturing of kombucha apparently now is very, very quick. They don't let the microbes actually eat up all the sugar. So you end up with a lot more sugar in this product, which then feeds pathogens, yeast, fungus. So if you're going to have kombucha tea, make it yourself and ferment it for a lot longer. So that way the microbes can eat up all that sugar. And it's a really good substitute for beer and even wine because it calms people down and it's carbonated. The texture is similar to beer, but the kombucha they sell in the health food store, start reading the labels because they're also adding other juice to it to sweeten it, to make it taste good. And there's just like massive amounts of sugar, which again, mess with your metabolism. Okay, next one is protein powder. Now, I'm not against protein, okay? What I am against is the bulk protein powders that they sell, especially at gyms, at health food stores. I'm gonna buy this protein powder to gain more mass and get bigger. Well, take a look at the first ingredient. It's not protein. It's the maltodextrin filler as the main ingredient that literally has over 1,000 calories per serving. So you're getting this hidden sugar, but it's not even classified as a sugar. It's a carbohydrate or starch. It's called maltodextrin. And yes, it's going to increase insulin. And their rationale is, well, insulin is an anabolic hormone, so it's going to help you gain weight. It's going to actually make you fat. If you want good protein, consume meat, actual real protein. And number 7, starch. Now, I'm not talking about necessarily your grandma's potatoes. I'm talking about industrial starch. It's hidden. as just carbohydrate and ultra-processed food. We already mentioned maltodextrin, which comes from corn, which is a filler. It's really bad, but there are other starches as well. Modified corn starch, modified food starch, tapioca starch, those are industrial starches. But when you see the word modified, that takes it to the next level. That is an additional series of chemicals that are used in processing that starch to take something and change it so much that it's no longer even close to being identified to the original structure that it came from. It's so refined. And the thing about it, it's not sweet necessarily, so a person will consume a lot more of it. An average person consumes hundreds of pounds of this per year compared to sugar, which is a lot less. So they're not classified as a sugar, but they act more like a sugar than sugar acts like a sugar. Now, I know some of you are depressed that you just learned all about this, and you're going to have to change up the certain things in your refrigerator and your pantry. I want to now have you focus on what you can eat, okay? And let's talk about the 7 healthiest foods that you can eat of all the other foods in this video right here. Check it out right now.